whenever I wear green and purple, I feel like a sweet.
You look like
Purple sweets.
they're Bassett's.
Bassett's.
Right. Am I doing this one?
Yep.
Oh, hello there, and welcome back to the Hollywood News. And Hey You Guys, obviously. I'm Paul Heath from the Hollywood News.
I'm Stefan Pape from Hey You Guys.
We're here now to continue our coverage of the London Film Festival. We're going to talk about, I won't say review, we're going to talk about a film called The Birth of a Nation, which played in Toronto. I think it originally screened at Sundance 2016, which was 9 months ago. So, but we, caught up eventually, and we saw it the other day, didn't we? So, set during the 1800s.
Yeah, is that a question?
I just wanted a bit of help, really, because I'm just yakking on.
I thought I'd let you take this one.
19th century in Virginia, in the United States.
Quite well here.
Oh, I'm actually, you put the pressure on me a bit.
Yeah.
Basically, it revolves around a character called Nat, played by Nate Parker, who also co-writes and directs, I think. Is that right?
Yeah,
Is that right?
that's right.
And basically, the story is about his character, who is a slave in Virginia at the time, and he's owned by a character played by Armie Hammer, who's a frequent, pops up quite a lot in this festival, actually.
Can't get enough of Armie.
Can't get enough of Armie Hammer. So he plays, so it starts off when the Nat is very, very young. He's seen playing in the fields with Armie Hammer's character, and eventually Armie Hammer becomes his owner, effectively. And the film basically is, in essence, about the rise of the people at the time against the slavery trade during the day, and how they overcome everything.
Well, Nat's
eventually.
character, the character of Nat, sorry.
Ollie comes in and helps out.
I thought I'd help step in here.
Yeah.
He can be caught stealing a book very early on, and it transpires obviously he can read.
Yep.
And as a result of being able to read, he's taught the Bible, how to read the Bible, and he becomes a preacher. And by being a preacher, the slave owners realise he could be quite valuable to them, because they could start making money by having him preach kind of propaganda to other slaves, to let them know that their owners are always right, or that this is the right way to live, and you're okay. You're in God's
Keeps them on the
hands.
straight and narrows, because
which obviously he's very conflicted about, because he's feels like he's being forced to give out these sermons. At the same time, he doesn't like the idea that he's deceiving the fellow slaves, and that's the kind of idea. And then obviously he is intelligent, the character, and he leads a kind of uprising, doesn't he?
Yeah, which
my kind of criticism, I think, of it, because it is a really powerful movie that's wonderfully acted.
It's
It
great.
looks beautiful. There's some incredible. They use some music. I think there's a great scene where you just sort of see the all of the kind of cotton fields, and they're playing Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, and then you've got
sweeps across the vista.
and then you've got that great moment with Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit playing at one point as well. And it's a really rousing, quite stirring piece of cinema. But I felt that the uprising comes too late into the narrative. So the film is kind of, I'd say, 3/4 the build-up, and then the last quarter is this kind of 48-hour kind of 48-hour long rebellion that the slaves had, and it just feels like maybe the pacing could have maybe been a bit better. Perhaps it should have been more evenly split, maybe half and half. Because I felt like by the time we did get to those final stages, it felt a bit hurried. Whereas the build-up was so kind of slow burning, and which did suit the nature of the film. But then it went from that to just being really.
I think I know what you're saying. I actually quite liked the first part anyway. I was enjoying it. It's the wrong word, because there's some quite horrific scenes during it, and it makes you really angry. Really, God, I can't believe that happened. And so there's a lot of that. But it's quite engrossing, I thought. But then you get to this part, like you said, and within 15, 20 minutes, we're done.
Yeah.
And the writing comes up at the end, and obviously gives you a few facts and all that sort of stuff.
I suppose, I'm just trying to decipher what Nate Parker was thinking with that particular approach. But maybe he felt that, the build-up was long and tiring and tedious.
Yeah.
Because that was representative of the life at the time. And then the uprising, really, in the grand scheme of things, was quite short-lived. It was 48 hours. So maybe it was supposed to feel like a quick fire thing, sort of that comes in the end of the film, but just as a piece of cinema, I felt like it was all build up and quite little payoff.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, this is his first film as director. I know he's been in stuff, but it's his directorial debut, right? And he's getting a lot of Oscar sort of hints and tips and ridiculous hints and tips. Oscar buzz around it, and I think maybe as a director, I don't think as an actor. In it, I think he's not the strongest part of the film.
Well, no, but he's almost playing like a sort of. Obviously, he doesn't speak much, which a lot of I think a couple of the characters allude to in the movie, and I think that he's almost like a cipher. He's almost just like our eyes into this world. We're peering in through his perspective, but I wouldn't say it's a particularly a really strong performance, but it's more than accomplished.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not bad.
Sometimes you see a film that's directed, a writer who's written and directed a movie, and you think, do you need to be starring in this? But I didn't feel there was that sort of feeling of, oh, he's just throwing himself in this movie for the sake of it. He did feel like
genuinely,
the right character, actor for the part.
Anyway, but I like Birth of a Nation. It's a great film. It's well told. It's well written. It is well directed, and it is well acted. Not just from Nate Parker. Armie Hammer's fantastic.
Yeah.
As is the guy from Sons of Anarchy. Mark Boone Jr. There you go. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the beard?
Yeah,
He plays one of the other preachers.
Yeah,
He's great in it. And some phenomenal performances. And the lead actress is great as well.
It's definitely worth seeing. I think that it's flawed, and I don't, having seen it's such a strong year for film. There's been so many movies that I would place above this in the kind of Oscar.
Yeah, definitely.
But if it did get a nomination, it wouldn't seem too outrageous. It's a very accomplished film, but it is flawed, but it's an important story and deserves to be seen, I think.
And I think it'll be out before the end of January, I should imagine. It's picked up by Fox, so it should get quite a decent release, I should think.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Anyway, that's it. That's Heath and Pape for this video. We're going to be doing some more, obviously. So keep it on the Hollywood News and Hey You Guys. See you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey